Right. Okay, so having learned a lot of scaling so far, I feel like there's a lot more to learn there for me, as far as like finger dexterity and improving the speed. But I hope that would just come over time, because practicing it alone without playing could be a little boring. So what I did instead of just only scaling that I've been practicing, between the minor scale and the major scales, the five positions for both of those scales, and then learning a lot about chords, and then the learning the open chords and the bar chords, the major, the minor, the seventh chord, um, even the minor seventh chords, and the additions or the extension chords. Now it's about putting those chords to use. So I think the next thing I want to be able to learn is chord progressions, because I feel like chord progressions allows you to play chords while you scale, so you don't just have to do solos that doesn't involve any chord. So combining the two, I think, is where the magic really happens, where the next level magic really, for me. So now learning these chord progressions, and if you look online, you can just see there are really lots of formula for cool chord progressions. The most common one that I stumbled upon for the blues, really 12 bar blues, um, that I was really digging into was the 1 4 5, the first, the fourth, and the fifth position, um, which, depending on where you start, your key that is. So let's say if you were to start in the key of A, for example, just because A correlates with one, it'd be easier to recognize. So A would be the first is 1, over to D, which is 4, and E, which is 5. So that's A, D, E. So A, B would be 2, C would be 3, D would be 4, and E would be 5. So that's, you have A, D, E, which makes a common blues progression. Not necessarily common blues, that's just a position of it. So it depends on wherever you start. You start in the key of C, it would be C, F, and G. C, F, G. Very common chord progression. Okay, so, but the chord progression that I'm going with now, it's not going to be that. It's going to be a different one, which is a D in the key of D, which I would go with D, C. But I'm going to use C add 9 instead, just to give it a little bit more flair. And then over to G, and then back to D. Very common chord progression for lots of songs. And it's fun for me to play something that basic, since I'm still a newbie. So let's see if we can get this baby into okay, the looper works. I'm still a newbie with this looper stuff. A buddy of mine, Ronnie, didn't really use it, or didn't really spend that much time with it, so he just loaned it to me. That's how we get to be able to use it. Okay. So you have that chord progression going in the key of D, then I would just play the scale in the key of D. Let's try that. Okay, that wasn't clear. Trying to figure out how to get my guitar to play louder than the backing track that I created with that um, progression I had mentioned earlier. Um, it's a it's a pretty old foot pedal, but it's a pretty sophisticated one for that time. It was like $450 or so, $400. Pod H D400. Hey, thanks, Rami. I really wanted a looper, and um, I looked on Craigslist and I saw a bunch of loopers, and they weren't cheap, and I didn't want to buy a whole bunch of things just to like start this electrical guitar, electric guitar path, just because I don't even know how long I'm going to be playing this, to be honest. You know, because sometimes you just pick up a hobby when you get a little inspired. Next thing you know, is shit. 3 days pass, you don't play anymore when the guitar gets here. But I've been playing for a bit, trying my best to play every day. Um, so if y'all, like I mentioned in my other videos, if y'all just starting out on your electric guitar journey or just guitar in general, put up some videos, man. Link me up so we can watch the newbies and us grow. Okay, later, fam.